Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing my second Centurion deck profile. If you haven't already checked out my first profile, it was a pure variant with just a lot of hand traps and non-engine spots. Today I'm going to be profiling a Superheavy Samurai build. Centurions benefit from the Superheavy Samurais through Infernal Flame Banshee from Agov because it allows you to search for Trudea, which is a pyro. So you get a lot of added consistency through the Superheavy Samurais. Of course, it means that your non-engine deck building has to be a little bit different, and it doesn't really benefit you as much going second. It does make your deck far more consistent. It can add more to the end board going first, but of course going second is going to be a little bit more of an uphill battle with the Superheavy Samurais because they don't really do much. I mean, your opponent does have to kind of respond to them in some way, but and you obviously have to run some bricks in the deck as well. But I'm going to get straight into the profile. I'm going to start with the Superheavy Samurai portion of the deck because there's kind of two ways you could play this. Both ways include obviously 3 Wakaushi, 3 Motorbike, a big Benkei, and 1 Soul Gaia booster. This is the minimum engine you have to play. This is what I think is the best way to play it. What this does is this gives you very consistent access into Trudea. If you already have access to your Centurion engine, and again, as I said in the previous video, your Centurion deck already has 12 one-card starters, or 13 if you count Terraforming. So we're adding 6 with the Super Heavies, being Wakaushi and Bike. But if you already have the access to one of your one-card starters in the Centurions, then you've got to think about what else you're doing with the Superheavy Samurais. Now, at the moment, if we open Bike specifically as the Samurai, we can easily just make Baron and then do the Centurion things, and it's a lot stronger because obviously we are protected from a single hand trap and we can easily go full combo from there. Wakaushi's a little bit obviously worse to start with because it doesn't get you to Baron on its own if you're playing this engine specifically, or this amount of engine. What you would need to be playing is more cards in the engine to get there, specifically a Soul Piercer, a Scales, and a Soul Peacemaker. So if you're playing all 3 of these, your Wakaushi becomes a 1-card Baron and a 1-card Baron and Pendulum Scales. So that you're able to pendulum summon out the Centurion monster and go from there. So you get the full combo with Baron. Having these 3 cards in your deck also means that Motorbike becomes a lot stronger of a card if you've already got access to the Centurions as well. I'll show a combo where, what you can do with Bike if you already open the Centurion side of the deck as well. It does make your deck a lot stronger, gives you a much stronger end board going first. But the reality is this deck already has a really oppressive end board with Calamity. And we already get a lot of the same effect by just playing what we're playing here with Bike, just to get Baron. Now, what the Motorbike version of the combo does is it lets you pendulum summon Scales in addition to your Centurion monster, so you can also just get a rank 4 for free, whether that's like Dweller or a Synchro. You can also make a Synchro 8, so you can do a lot more with Bike. And I'll show you what the combos look like with that in a moment, but yeah, I think this is the most optimal way to play. It's only 2 unideal cards to draw as opposed to 5 if you play the other 3. Yes, it means that your end board is weaker. It means that Wakaushi on its own doesn't, if you have Wakaushi and let's say Primera, the Wakaushi is kind of awkward in that it doesn't really benefit that too much. Like you're probably making like an Omega or something like that. But we'll keep going and I'll show you how that fits in with the combos. The Centurion side of the deck has not changed. This is still just how you would always play it. 3 Primera, 3 Trudea, 1 Emmet 6, 3 Emblemmer of Oath, 3 Stand-Up Centurion, 1 Faith of Centurion, 1 Terraforming, and same with the last profile, this should just be the other trap card, the normal trap. It's just better going first or second. It's got more utility. But the counter is fine. I mean, it still protects your end board to make sure kind of it goes through if you open 2 pieces of Centurion. That's the other thing you can do. Like if you open 1 piece of the Centurion combo and you have Wakashi, you can just use it instead to set up this Truth Centurion plus the rest of the Centurion combo. But though specifically when you're doing that, it does need to be the Centurion piece you start with needs to be one of the spells. If you already open Primera, you can't really do a lot with Primera and Trudea as like the 2 monsters. So that doesn't really help you as much. But if you open Emblema or Stand Up Centurion or Terraforming plus the Wakashi, then you can easily set up the Truth Centurion plus the Calamity lock there as well. For non-engine, we've got heaps of space as well. So we've got the 3 Fenrir, we've got Nibiru, we've got Ash, we've got 2 Talons, 2 Thrusts, and 3 Impermanents as the non-engine there. Again, if you wanted to play these, you would just have to cut 3 non-engine spots, but you'd still already have heaps. So it wouldn't be, like, you wouldn't be lacking in non-engine if you did choose to play the extra Samurais. You're just obviously adding bricks to the deck for a higher end board going first. It's probably not worth it, but yeah, so this you get heaps of space for non-engine. It's 16, that's heaps. More than enough. The extra deck hasn't really changed too much. We've just changed it a little bit to facilitate the Samurais. That's 2 Legatia, the Crimson Dragon, the Calamity, the Cosmic Blazer, and the Lilith. You're not going to change that. This is all pretty fine for the Centurions. We're still playing Baron, but of course this time we are now on the Excel Synchro Stardust to get into Baron very easily. Playing Omega and the Draco Berserker because these are just really easy Synchro 8s to make. Then for the Xyz monsters, we are on 1 Infernal Flame Banshee because this is why you're playing the Samurais, is for this. It's the same reason why like Vanquish Soul, plays the Dempsey. It just gives you access to your combo. Still obviously on the Typhon. I've just thrown in Zeus. I was just testing some other kind of extra deck slots. So Zeus is a card you could make. You've also, you're playing Talons and Thrust, so you can easily steal an Xyz monster, make a Zeus is fine. And then I'm on SP and IP. Just if you've got extra bodies lying around with like the Samurais, for example, then you could easily go into like an IP into SP. Yeah, so that's the extra deck. Nothing too crazy. But now I'll show you the combo, so like what benefits we get from the Samurais. Okay, so the first combo I'm going to show is going to just be Wakashi on its own. This is if you've just got 4 other non-engine spots. This is just a really simple the way we use the Samurais. This could also be done with Motorbike. This does the same thing if you have no access to the Centurions. So the way it would start would be pitch Motorbike, grab Wakashi, or if you already have Wakashi, just start with Wakashi and you scale it. Using its effect, you grab, of course, the Benkei and it summons, and then use its other effect to search Soul Gaia, which we can equip to Wakashi, summon it, overlay into Infernal Flame Banshee, and then use the effect of the Infernal Flame Banshee to search for Trudea. We would normal summon the Trudea, use its effect to put itself back into the spell trap zone alongside Primera, which we can use its effect to summon, search for Stand Up, use Stand Up's effect to discard a card from the hand. Obviously we've got 4 others in the hand, so discard 1 with Stand Up, and scale the Emmet 6, use its effect to summon, synchro off into the Legatia. We draw back the card that we obviously discarded, and in the end phase we get the Primera back into the spell trap zone because of the Legatia, and this is our 1 card Calamity. So this is just an extra way of getting to the Calamity lock with the Samurais. And again, if you didn't watch the previous video, you don't know how the Centurions work. On our opponent's turn, once they get to the main phase, we're going to be, once they obviously pass priority to us, we can activate the Trudea and the Primera to summon. The Primera will get its search effect. You can either grab Faith or Stand Up for follow-up. Probably just would grab Faith. So we've got Faith and a blank card in our hand that we drew, plus obviously 3 others. Then we're going to use the Emmet 6 in the graveyard to put the Trudea back into the spell trap zone, summon itself out, and trigger stand-up Centurion's effect to synchro summon on the opponent's turn, and turn our 2 monsters there into the Crimson Dragon. Targeting the Geisha, putting it back, and summoning out the Calamity. And that's the kind of the 1-card combo there, with Bike, with Wakashi, and obviously in the previous video, the Centurions do all the same thing as well. So whether it's the Primera, the Trudea, the Stand-Up, or the Emblema, all of these are the 1-card combo that gets to the same point as well, just minus the Banshee here. So that's the 1-card combo with Bike or Wakashi. That's how you do the Calamity Lock. It's very straightforward, but now I will show you what we can do, so where the end boards kind of differ once you have like Bike and access to the combo. Okay, so this combo is going to be Bike and Primera. So this is going to give us Baron before we start doing the Centurion things, which just means our plays are more insulated. So we're going to start with Bike, grab Wakashi, scale Wakashi, use its effect to scale Benkei, summon Benkei effect to search for Gaia Booster, use its effect to summon, and again this is going to look the same as the previous combo, except now we're going to synchro off for the Excel. The Excel is going to bring back the Bike, and we're going to make Baron. So notably here, obviously we didn't declare chain links or anything, I was just rushing through that, but we do have Pendulum Scales to then commit a Pendulum Summon later on, but we've also got Primera to simply normal summon, because we haven't normal summoned yet. We can normal summon Primera, and then we're just doing the standard combo from here. Grab Stand Up, use Stand Up's effect to discard a card to scale place in the Pendulum Zones, the Spell Trap Zone, the Trudea, summon, bring itself back with M6, summon, and then we just get to the same spot as before. So the Calamity Lock, we've got Baron and Scales, but nothing really worth Pendulum Summoning. And that's going to be the not the issue, but yeah, we don't really benefit from having the Pendulum Scales. The only thing the Pendulum Scales kind of do also is they do kind of clog the zones. So that's going to be one like downside to this variation, is that you can clog your pendulums, like your spell trap zones, because you want them for like the Centurions. We only have one space, like once we do the regular combo, which is go into Legacia and then get the Primera back in the end phase, is that we've got one space here. If we have the ability to get to the Truth, then that gives us one spot for Truth. But then certainly you would side deck, there can be only one. So in the previous profile, that was one of the cards I was main decking. I've chosen to side deck it for this one just because I wanted to kind of use the non-engine more, just as cards that could go in second. But you'd want to be able to side in, there can be only one too. And yeah, your spell trap zones are very clogged by the Pendulum Scales, and they don't really benefit you in that you don't really want to Pendulum Summon. Obviously, now that I say it, this is an optional effect. You don't actually have to do this. You can use it to chain block, but yeah, you could just simply let that go to the Pendulum Zone and you'd have an extra space. So ignore that. That was a moot point, but it's something that is notable. I want to show you the next combo, which is going to be Motorbike again with, we'll do it differently this time. We'll do it with, just with Stand Up. So Motorbike and Stand Up, but this is if you also want to play the extra samurai pieces. So this is kind of going to be like the biggest end board you can make with the Centurions and the Samurais, but you've got to be playing the bricks. You don't actually need the Soul Peacemaker for this one. The Soul Peacemaker is just what allows you to make Wakashi a 1-card Baron and Pendulum Scales. But yeah, you just need these two for the Motorbike version. So it's going to be Pitch Bike. It's going to look the same as before. Grab Wakashi, scale Wakashi, effect to get Benkei, and summon. Benkei is then going to search for Soul Piercer, not the Soul Gaia Booster. We normal summon the Soul Piercer, and we are going to Synchro Summon into Excel Synchro Stardust. We have Chainlink 1 Soul Piercer, Chainlink 2 Excel, Chainlink 3 Wakashi. Wakashi will scale itself, Soul Stardust will summon back Motorbike, and Soul Piercer will search scales. So this is just going to give us one more little kind of push on our end board, just to give us something a bit better. Then we go and make Baron. And so you'll see that we're at the same point as before, except this time we've still got the Pendulum Summon and we've got Scales. Now we'll go Centurion, use its effect to discard a card, and put the Primera into the zone there. We will use its effect to special summon itself, and then that is going to search for the Trudea. Now obviously we have normal summon, so this is where our Pendulum Summon does come in. We'll Pendulum Summon Trudea and Scales, trigger the Scales to summon back the Motorbike. If you know you're just going to go for a rank 4, you simply summon back the Soul Piercer, because then you don't have to worry about like the Motorbike effect. But yeah, you'd use the Motorbike effect to increase its level by 2, because then you go these two into any rank 4. In my list currently, I'm only playing Infernals. I'll throw that on top, but this is most likely going to be something like a Dweller. That's usually where you're going with that. And then you can use the Trudea effect to put itself back. M at 6, summon, synchro into Legacia, draw a card. And end phase, get back Primera. And so this is where you are. Obviously, this is not Infernal Flame Banshee, it's Dweller. But I just don't think that the Dweller, having like that extra rank 4, is not going to be as... it's not worth playing the extra pieces, is what I'm saying. Like the end board looks better, like Dweller's cool, but it's worth the extra commitment to having those 3 extra bricks in your deck. I'm going to show the same combo now with Wakaushi. And the Wakaushi board, the only difference is that you don't even get the Dweller. So by playing the extra pieces, it means Wakaushi gets you to Baron and a Pendulum Summon, so that you still get that protected combo, which is nice, but again, I don't know if it's worth the extra pieces, but I'll show that one. All right, so for Wakaushi and a Centurion starter, this is what we're going to do. So we'll scale Wakaushi, use its effect to place Benkai, summon, Benkai effect, search for Soul Piercer. So same as the previous combo, normal summon, synchro summon, and this time we actually have to synchro summon into a Samurai Synchro level 8. So you have to play this in your extra deck as well. It's okay, you've got space. You could easily cut like the Draco Berserker or the Zeus. Like there's heaps of space for the Saratobi. So you'd summon this. Then we would trigger obviously Wakaushi and Soul Piercer. So Chainlink 2 Wakaushi, Chainlink 1 Soul Piercer. Wakaushi will scale itself, and Soul Piercer is going to search for the Soul Peacemaker. Then you're going to equip it to the Saratobi, tribute them off. Oh, sorry, hang on, I've misplayed already. The Soul Piercer searches for the Motorbike, and then we pitch Motorbike to grab the Soul Peacemaker. We do that so we can obviously get the level 2 into the graveyard, because then we go Soul Peacemaker, tribute the Saratobi to summon out the Scales from the deck. The Scales will bring back a Motorbike. We'll use the Motorbike to increase its level, and then we can synchro off to Excel Synchro Stardust, use its effect to bring back Motorbike, synchro into Baron, and we are off to the races. We have already normal summoned, so we have to Pendulum Summon out the Primera, and then we just do the Centurion combo. So Primera, search stand up, activate stand up, use its effect, discard a card, place Trudea, summon, bring back with M at 6, summon, and you've got the Calamity Lock again with Baron. So that's a protected combo. Again though, is it worth playing these 3 extra pieces? Probably not, because really this combo specifically is the only place where these 3 extra bricks are required to be played. Just for this Wakaushi plus Centurion combo. Because these 3 don't come up with Wakaushi by itself, because you're just going into Infernal Flame Banshee. These pieces don't come up when it's Motorbike by itself, because, again, you're going Flame Banshee. But even when you have Motorbike and a Centurion monster, yes, they give you Dweller or a rank 4 or a Synchro 8. So there's a few things you could get. It could even just be like IP Masquerader. So having access to the Scales does give you extra, but it's at the cost of playing the 2 pieces here, where like this combo, when you're not playing these 3, already gets you to Pendulum Scales Baron. So it already does that. So I don't think it's worth playing these 3 extra pieces just for that extra rank 4, Synchro 8, Link 2, whatever it is you want to make. So that's why, yeah, I don't think these are worth playing. You obviously also have to play the Saratobi, but you've got extra deck space, so that's fine. Yeah, so as far as my opinion on the Superheavy Samurais, I think it has changed a little bit. I used to think this combo was a lot stronger. I used to think this version of the deck was even better than like the pure variant, but I don't know, the more I've been playtesting, I think my opinion is changing. I do like the extra consistency. I like that we have, what, 18 one-card starters. That's crazy, but worth the extra, like, worth the extra bricks, maybe not. Yeah, especially, like, it's definitely not worth playing these extra pieces. I was playing these for the longest time because I liked the higher ceiling, but I mean, it's hard when your combo is already King Calamity locking. Like, you don't need much more of a higher ceiling. Obviously, it's interruptible, but yeah. So that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to kind of show off some of the things you could do with the Samurais. The added consistency is great. Oh, the other thing that I didn't mention before is that you don't play Prosperity, and I think that's really good. Prosperity, I mentioned it in the previous video, but Prosperity, like, it obviously does conflict with the Legatia draw, which isn't that, it's not, that's fine. But if you were playing more of a traditional Centurion Horus deck, then Prosperity kind of really gets in the way with Imseti trying to draw, with Legatia trying to draw. Like, you do actually neg quite hard if you have to combo through Prosperity first, because you're discarding all these cards and you don't get them back, which is hard. And like this deck does not benefit from discarding cards, and that's also why I don't like the Horus deck. But I will profile the Horuses at some point. This was focusing on the Samurais, and I hope there are some things here that you can take away. Definitely consistency, great. This is awesome for, like, setting up Baron and protecting the combo is great. Yeah, it's just another kind of way to play the deck. But otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one.